Big questions, no answers. See these questions I got on my mind.
Well, McAvey.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for having me.
No worries, mate. No worries. It's a long time coming, I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. We've been talking about this since you started
the
doing
inception
this.
of it.
Yeah.
Tell the world a little bit about who you are, why, how I know you, and what do you want the world to know about you, Kyle? This is your first time on a podcast, right?
This is my first time on a podcast.
Well, I don't know
yeah.
how many people can hear this. I haven't done it in a long time, but
Yeah.
you're broadcasting to the entire world,
We're
technically.
broadcasting to the ether.
To the ether. Exactly.
Well, I'm Kyle Douglas Ioane Makiivi, full name. I kind of like full names. Like when I meet someone, I'm like, give me your full name.
That's nice.
You know?
Yeah. It's a cool name.
Says a lot about him. And yeah, I thank my parents.
Full
I think
names.
I do have a really cool name.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
I also have full names. Samuel Salvador Fee Villa.
Fee. Yeah. Villa Fee. Yeah.
Villa Fee.
Salvador. That's such a cool middle name.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, I grew up here with you in Danville. I lived in Newark, which is just, 30 minutes down south prior to moving here. And yeah, I've lived here pretty much my whole life. Currently live in Walnut Creek right now. I attend school at Cal State East Bay. Long time coming, taking that 8-year route. And that's totally cool.
Hey, man.
Life
That's
is
all
about
right.
pace and finding yours.
You've done it, and you're still with it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You're still doing it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna graduate next winter and
Fuck yeah.
potentially look at master's programs and
Mm-hmm.
but we'll see. I do want to go out in the world again.
Yeah. I'm
Go
sure
on a
you
little,
do.
Go on a little walkabout again.
I'm sure.
But yeah, so in school, and then I also work as a server at a restaurant in Danville, and it's called Revel. Great restaurant.
What should people order if they order it from you?
Oh,
What's the most expensive thing?
oh gosh. Yeah, buy a bottle of wine, please.
yeah.
An expensive one. But there's a lot of delicious things on the menu. But everyone likes the chicken sliders. It's the most popular item on
Okay,
the menu.
there you
But I think that roasted chicken, you don't think to go out and get a piece of chicken, but unless it's fried, But a grilled piece of chicken, what it comes with on the side, it's one of the healthiest dishes, one of the biggest portions. Secret MVP of that menu.
Damn.
You
there
heard it
go.
here first. And shout out to JC. He substitutes fries and salad on the side. So chicken, fries, salad.
Oh.
Bulk.
Bulk.
Bang
Fire.
for your buck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But so I work as a server. I've worked as a server for 5 years now. 6 years.
How did we meet each other? You remember? Do you remember me as a
gosh.
young? I don't even know how we met in particular, the first time we met, but
I saw you in middle school.
you just perched up on a hill, staring at me, that's
Yeah.
the new kid.
Foreigner.
Yeah.
He's hiding his accent.
yeah. Something about this kid. I
Yeah,
guess.
something about this kid. Something fishy about this English kid.
Yeah.
But I gotta say it was rugby.
Yeah.
It was playing rugby when I
Yeah,
really
yeah,
got to know you because
Mhm.
you joined in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 8th grade. Back when we had that random hodgepodge team
But we were good.
but we were good.
yeah.
Get the ball to Johnny
That was
Quinn.
so random. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was fun, man. Those were fun days.
Those were fun
But
days.
yeah, we played for all of high school too. So 5 years, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. That's how we met each other properly. Was fucking
Was rugby.
rugby. Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't really start hanging out until high school at some point?
Yeah, really. I feel like freshman year is when I joined the friend group kind of.
Yeah.
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 So I was
Yeah,
hanging
it
out
was
with Brandon Book in 8th grade in middle school.
Yeah, and we were all playing. A lot of us were playing rugby, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, gosh, high school. Think about high school. It's been a few years now.
I know. Yeah.
6 years?
Wild. Yeah. We're well out of it now. It's insane, but it's still one of the more formative parts of our youth so far. So I think it's makes sense that it is so impactful. We also met so many.
Totally.
We strength. It's when everybody kind of comes into themselves a little bit, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I feel like you've gone through the majority of your puberty.
Yeah.
Or at least I felt like I did,
Mhm.
and
Totally.
I was able to.
You haven't hit your second
think
spurt
about different
yet?
think about different things instead of popping my zits all the time and
Yeah.
and girls all the time. I was able to kind of I got into the books we were reading a little bit more. I
Mhm.
got into films more at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's when I started to adult a little bit.
Yeah.
Things were changing at home and whatnot. But yeah, high school.
Nice.
High
And
school was a good time.
what's your background? Obviously, Maki is you're also a foreigner.
Oh yeah. Well, aren't we all?
We all. We're all
Aren't we all?
aliens.
We're all from somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's Hawaiian last name.
Okay.
Native Hawaiian.
Mhm.
Shout out Tug.
Shout out Tug.
Yeah, my dad.
Shout out Tuggy.
Tuggy. Yeah.
Legend.
Great father. Yeah, I love my dad. And then we're American Samoan as well. That's 25% of my genetics, 25% Hawaiian. And then my mom was mostly English,
Mhm.
actually. I think I told you that recently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mostly English and French, German,
Okay, yeah.
Danish,
Standard, like European. kind of
Irish.
White.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but it's cool genetics.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice smut. Genetic variation, gives you a better immune system.
It does.
From what I hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm with that.
100%. All right. I came here today to ask you a question. So
Yeah, ask away.
the big question is, because you've talked about an experience recently you had that doesn't happen to many people. So I wonder, do you think that experiences happen to us like when we need to learn a particular lesson? Or put another way, put a more like sexy way, do we seek experiences or do experiences seek us?
Oof.
Like, do you think that... Anyways, I say that because I want you to lead into your story about your hike recently.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Well, yeah, I do believe experiences happen for a reason. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, yeah, there's definitely some things that are put in our path that are extremely meaningful. And a lot of times it's like only meaningful to you.
Mm.
And a lot of these situations, like only you really know like the real significance of this.
Can I ask you a difficult question, though? Do you think
Yeah.
you're ascribing that meaning after it happened because something chaotic happened? And then I think about this a lot. Like, did I assign so much meaning to that because this thing was crazy and I had to just kind of make it make sense? You know what I mean? Make it a part of your narrative, kind of.
Yeah, okay.
Or is it like the universe being like, no, you needed to see that? It's almost both. I don't know. It's very...
Yeah.
You know?
I do kind of feel what you're saying. Yeah.
It's difficult to know.
Yeah, like makes sense of it all.
Mhm.
Like bring your rationality to it.
Yeah.
Like, take a situation that's really confounding and like think about it for a long time, make some sense of it. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like, occasionally when we take mushrooms,
Mhm.
the once or twice a year, sometimes I try to make extreme sense of all of it, but at the same time I'm like, I think some of this is nonsense.
Yeah,
I think dreams are kind of that way sometimes as
Mm.
well. I think
Sometimes.
there's things to be learned from dreams, but at the same time I feel like some of them are just a little too funky.
Yeah. Okay, so, Big Sir, what happened? Tell me.
Oh goodness. Well, this was 2 weeks ago. I drove down pretty much around this time.
Yeah.
And well, yeah, I'll preface this with I was going on this big hike. It was 11 and a half miles up this trail. I looked on all trails, and technically it said that the trail was closed,
Mhm.
and due to a lot of fire damage and fallen trees. But I had seen reviews of people who had gone up, 2 weeks before I did, and they said it was fine. It's a little hard to follow the trails at some point, but it's doable. And so I felt fairly confident going about this, and
Mhm.
I have Tuesdays and Wednesdays off of work.
And you're fit. You've done kind of things like this before, camping,
Yeah.
like shit.
Yeah, I have the equipment.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with the area.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured I could roll the dice
I
a
could
little bit.
handle
I could
this.
go on a little adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys had gone on that adventure
To Pinnacles.
to Pinnacles 2 weeks prior. Or I think maybe just a week before.
I think a week before.
A weekend
right?
before,
Yeah.
something like that. And so I wanted to come and couldn't end up going, and so it was in my head to have an adventure. But yeah, so I drove down on Tuesday, and stopped at my dad, said what up, kept driving on by, and got onto the one, started winding, it was definitely dark by that time.
Mhm.
I was listening to Radio Rental. I was getting spooked out.
So spooky, dude.
And I was listening to some Dan Carlin. Shout out Dan Carlin.
Shout out Dan Colin.
Man. Talk about a podcast.
Dude.
And
That guy's national treasure, bro.
yes,
I would
he
not
is.
I would not know nearly anything about the history that I know without
know.
him. Or like the level of detail of it. And
Yeah. Wow, there's so much to say.
yeah.
But
Anyway, sorry.
it's all good.
Dan Colin.
Ugh, Dan. But anyway, yeah, so I was driving on the one. It was a pretty clear night. A lot of stars. Pretty. Not too many people out.
Mhm.
And I pulled off to a side that I figured was a good spot just to camp in the bed of the truck
Mhm.
and camp for the night. And I knew the trail, the entrance to the state park, Limekillen State Park,
Mhm.
which is a small state park. It's just it's literally just a little cove that they've made into this tiny state park.
Cool.
And there's a few campgrounds there. Volunteer ranger people that work there and
Yeah.
run the camp. But yeah, it's a nice little spot, and at the end of it, or at the back of it, is this trail up to Cone Peak.
Okay.
And Cone Peak is the second largest mountain in the range, the Big Sur Range.
Wow, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's 5140.
Solid.
Yeah, pretty solid height.
You said it snows, right?
It gets snow on
can.
it. It's crazy, yeah, to see like the tropical looking.
I mean, yeah, if
water.
it snows on Mount Diablo, obviously it's going to snow
Mhm.
up there.
But you would, I mean, a lot of snow doesn't collect next to the ocean like that because it stays generally
Mm.
pretty temperate
Right.
next to oceans,
Yeah.
But yeah, so it wasn't too cold of a night.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of spooked myself out listening to all these podcasts. Listening to these ones about the Apaches and how they could climb through mountains, make like 19 miles on one day,
Oh, my God.
like running through the mountains. Crazy.
That's
So that kind of
insane.
inspired me too, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be a
I'm
mountain
an
goat like
Apache.
them. Yeah,
I think I'm going to.
yeah. And so I fell asleep eventually. Didn't sleep too well because I spooked myself out. And got up in the morning, 8 a.m., 7 a.m., got ready, ate some food, drank a lot of tea. Didn't drink any caffeine because of Sober October.
Mm-hmm.
And,
See you.
yep, smoked a couple bowls,
Got ready.
got ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely got
Took a
ready.
little mushy mush, no?
Took a microdose, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not a microdose, but a gram.
Yeah.
And so, definitely
Enough to get very connected to the nature.
Yeah, but nothing too
Yeah.
nothing too surreal,
Mm-hmm.
nothing too out there,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to stay focused
Totally.
and not get off trail.
Yeah.
And so I started the hike. The ranger didn't let me go from the trail because it was closed, but he said, "Oh, my buddy, around the corner." He said, "Around the corner, there's a spot that links right up with the trail that you can go up, and it's pretty chill." And so I trusted him, and I was like, "Okay."
And that was on the old trails too, right?
Yeah. I saw a little tiny snippet. It didn't have its own name for a trail, but there was a little path on All Trails.
Mm-hmm.
All Trails is great,
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can download map layers, and it has all these trails through the
It's
backcountry
insane.
and stuff. It's not the best for navigating the street, but for hiking and stuff,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
definitely a great app. But
You start going on this
I started going on this hike.
on this trail.
Yeah, started at 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it got a little hairy right away. And I was like, crap, I really hope it's not this way because there's so much poison oak out here. I don't want to get covered in poison oak.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you know.
I had just gotten poison oak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had just talked about this. So I was like, I really don't want poison oak.
Yeah.
You had to get on prednisone, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
It was fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't mess around. I knew what it was immediately, and it was on my face. I'm like, no, give me steroids. And then I got on the MD
God,
Live.
Got on your face?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And I got MD Live, which is like this online doctor. They can just like prescribe you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you were just chilling in here talking to the doctor?
Literally, like you just you send a picture. I'm like, send a picture of my face. Send a picture of it was on my arm. It was on my face. And
Yeah.
so like send a picture of it. Describe what it was, and then She's like, yes, that is poison oak. I was like, I've had poison oak before. I know that this is poison oak.
Yeah.
And it's on my face. And she's like, yep, I can prescribe you prednisone. Like, take the 10 days fucking worth of shit. But
Oh yeah.
anyway, sorry, we keep delineating here.
Nah,
You're
it's
on
okay.
the trail.
On the trail. I mean, poison oak.
It was getting pretty hairy, as you said. Meaning, like,
Right at
what,
the
you had to
beginning.
bushwhack and shit?
Right at the beginning it did. And I almost turned around there and I was like, fuck this. Like, I almost said that and just
Because you had to go
went to
through
go find another
brush.
trail, and I just didn't want to get covered in poison oak.
Yeah.
And I just really was thinking like, oh, this is what they meant by the trail conditions are crap. And so
Right.
I almost turned back, but I was like, no, I'm gonna get through this at least to the top of this hill and see if it gets better from here. And I got to the top of that hill, and it was cool. And the trail cleared up, and that's when you dip into this big gorge that runs down from Cone Peak. This big giant gorge that it drops for like 5,100 feet so
Into the valley.
literally down
Yeah.
around sea level. I want to say at the bottom of that valley.
Wow.
Maybe even below it. And so
So
it
you're
gets
just standing at the base of the peak.
pretty
Or
much.
Base of the peak.
Yeah, it's like a 33% grade, 3 miles up. It was a long way up.
That's a
But before, I had just gotten over this hill, looking over the one, turned my back to it, and started walking toward the mountain. And there's a meadow there. It looked like Endor. It's beautiful redwoods, butterflies, things were alive. The creek was running through, ferns, ivy.
Yeah.
Lush.
Like
Cloves.
as lush as like the chaparral
Moss.
can look.
Yeah, absolutely. It was
Yeah.
beautiful
Yeah.
and peaceful, and I was really excited to get on this
trail.
big hike and have this big adventure day. And I knew I had to be smart with my time and my sunlight because this is going to take all day.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going, hiking poles. It was awesome. Creek is running by. It's really peaceful, and I know I'm going to have to turn uphill soon. And I don't really hear anything besides just the running of the creek and the sound of my footsteps. It was quiet, and all of a sudden, I hear a hello of an extremely distressed hello.
Mm.
And instantly I snapped and was like, where the heck did that come from? Looking around, and I spot this lady about 60 meters away on the other side of the creek, up on the embankment. And I yelled back and I said, hello, I'm over here. And she said, do you know the way out? And I said,
Oh my God.
yeah, I'm like 15, 20 minutes in. It's just that way. It's just right up behind me. And she was like, oh, thank you so much. And
She like broke down.
she was 60 yards away, and I couldn't really like see her up close, but I could see kind of her mannerisms a little bit from there, and I could see that she was kind of like dragging her feet, but was also she was dragging her feet around the pine needles, but was very just like pleased and happy.
Mm-hmm.
And, I thought it was a little weird out here in this meadow, meeting just this random lady and
Listening to creepy podcasts along the way.
listening to creepy podcasts. I had just taken a gram of these psychedelic mushrooms, and so
Yeah.
naturally I'm already feeling a little
Something
little out of the ordinary. And so I'm like, okay, I'll meet you down at the creek, And she comes walking down the
The embankment.
embankment toward the creek.
Down the embankment. Theo Vaughn say that. Oh, he says that all the time.
Dark
Down the
arts.
embankment.
Down the embankment.
Anyways, yeah, you meet her down the embankment,
Yeah, I meet her down
and
there.
she's looking this disheveled and tired,
dragging her
and
feet, and
dehydrated.
she said from across the creek, she said, I've been out here for 5 days. And 4 nights and 5 days, and you're the first person I've seen. And I stopped in my tracks, and I could not believe it. I instantly was like, "What? This is all you have? Like,
You
hadn't seen anybody?" And and then instantly I was like, what do you need? I have food, I have
Yeah.
water, I have everything on
Yeah,
my
yeah.
back that you need. Like, oh my gosh, how can I help you? And,
Yeah.
she's like, well, I'll first off come over at the other side of the creek And I was like, yeah, yes, of course. And I had dropped my bag.
She went on your side or you went on her side?
She went on my side.
Yeah, okay.
Because the trail was over on my
Right,
side.
right.
I had put down my bag, and so I was like, oh, here, let me get you some food, and I have this, and that. And
What do you
she's like,
need?
"Oh,
Power bar, fucking
apples, bananas,
apples,
power
fruit,
bar.
dried fruit,
I had a
nuts.
chicken salad sandwich I bought at Safeway. So random, but it was good at the top.
Oh yeah.
And so she's like, oh, I'll get a power bar, and I ran back to my bag, grabbed it, made sure I had my knife on me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what this lady
Yeah,
wants up
yeah,
here.
yeah.
I don't know. There's someone waiting around the corner. They're going to mug me or
Mm.
whatever. I was listening to these spooky stories the whole way up. These weird things happening to people. And I'm like,
Dude, and it's crazy. Like, if you look at like state parks, national parks and shit, like a lot of
Yeah.
people go missing.
a lot of people
I
go
mean, it
missing.
makes sense. It's like the wilderness.
Yeah,
so.
totally.
But
Yeah.
shit,
People go
creepy
missing.
shit in the
And
woods, bro. There is.
Yeah, crazy things happen. Creepy things happen in the woods. That's why there's a lot of mythical, scary stories
Yeah.
that shit goes down in the
Shit
woods.
goes down in the woods. And shit did go down in the woods.
It did. And I had grabbed this power bar from my bag, and I run back up to her, and this is the closest I got to her, and I hand her the power bar, and I'm looking at her in the eyes, and I just see this like totally low energy, just low vibration, just totally just
Yeah.
this lady looked like she hadn't been sleeping. She had been pushed toward her wit's end.
The limit.
Yeah.
Close to her limit.
Yeah.
Dude.
Paranoid.
5 days, right? You said 4 nights and
5 days, 4 nights, 5 days. She expected a 1-day hike.
Dude.
Yeah, not even an overnight or anything.
What did she have on her again? This is what I
She
don't.
had a short sleeve shirt. She had like hiking sweatpants, hiking shoes,
like a camelback of water or something.
and a small camelback with her like Patagonia cinchilla. That's what it looked like. That type of sweatshirt stuffed in there.
Yeah.
And that was it. Nothing else. And I just could not believe that she had brought nothing else with her out there. And but yeah, when I handed her that bar, I got up close and I saw that she had her hair was messy and had twigs in it. She had dirt all over her face and her arms and her hands, and
My God.
her clothing was ripped up. It was definitely a sight, and I just could not believe this was happening.
Yeah.
15 minutes in. And, I was also thinking, like, man, she was so close. Wow. And that happens to people.
Yeah.
They get lost
Like
in the
you were
woods and they
saying the first
die.
time, like what
They
you were
die like a mile away from their car or like a
Yeah.
civilization,
Yeah. Like my dad was saying that family
Exactly.
recently.
Yeah.
Dude, like Bill, you were saying, dude, just like why didn't you just follow the creek? But I mean, I guess like you're saying, when it's thick and you just get off course and you get turned around,
Yeah.
you can't find the creek. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know. You would think all water there runs
Yeah.
to the ocean, and
But I mean,
eventually
maybe
just
you
have
just
to
don't
go-
think rationally too. I mean,
Yeah.
who knows?
and that canyon there coming down from that mountain was steep.
Yeah.
And so it
Totally.
dips, and so
It's like
You can
like
get
you said,
lost around down
33%
there.
grade on the trail. So I
yeah.
mean,
and
it's probably
I could show you on the map. There's no trails that go through a big swath of it, and that's probably where she got lost in. But yeah, her name was Sonia.
Sonia.
She had camped, like a mile
You
down
said like
from where
early
I
30s.
parked.
Like how old was she? I think
Yeah, like mid 30s.
mid 30s.
Yeah, brunette. She was really sweet and she was really nice, and she was just extremely pleased.
So
and
grateful.
just
Probably.
she was just saying, she's like, man, it was just crazy being alone.
Mhm.
And she said the nights were brutal and cold.
Oh my God, dude.
I can only imagine. She was in a good spot. If she was up on top of one of those slopes, it would have been so cold.
True.
But yeah, down by the creek stays warmer down there. But
Mhm.
yeah,
But she was
could
like
not
straight
believe
up sleeping rough. Like she's on a moss bed or some shit.
sleeping
like
on pine needles, piling
Pine
herself
needles,
up.
Wood chips. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.
But yeah, so yeah, she had gone up and she had seen one person the first day, like right when she got started, and then she hadn't seen anybody, and was going up to the same location as me, and so I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I'm an idiot too for
Yeah.
going this way. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to get lost. And my dad was talking to me. He's like, you gotta tell me, you make sure you tell friends where you're going.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I sent him the information as well. I
Mm-hmm.
sent other friends, and she said that she hadn't, and that she didn't really tell anyone.
Fuck. That's so scary.
She really expected it to be like a 1-2 day camp in Big Sur.
Yeah.
And she had been training for a survival trek in Colorado, like a 12-day like survival thing where you gotta bring like 5 items of your own or something, and costed money. And so she's like, it costed too much money, and so I decided to come out here, and then I got a little survival thing, without really trying. And
Yeah.
so ironic. And at this
That's
time
nuts,
in
dude.
the conversation, I'm starting to feel the effects of that.
The mush.
Of the mush, yeah.
Yeah.
And the sunlight coming through the trees was kind of glimmering off her face, and kind
Yeah.
of the shadows and
You're like,
stuff
are you
were
see-through?
kind of warping a little bit. And oh my gosh, yeah.
Dude, you told me though a haunting thing, which was like she was telling you she didn't even at points of it she didn't she wanted to know if it was real. She almost thought she was dreaming, having a nightmare.
I had said, I had told her, I said, I took a gram of mushrooms before this, and I'm just I'm starting to feel it a little bit.
Yeah,
I just couldn't even believe that
this was happening.
That this was happening.
Yeah,
I thought I
yeah.
was imagining something.
Totally,
and
dude.
she's like, "You're telling me."
Yeah.
I, for the last couple of days, have just couldn't believe that I was lost out here with nothing.
That's
And
so
fucked. It is. Man, I just
Dude,
really
it's
felt for her.
So fucked to like literally second guess your reality. Like that's. I mean, I guess you would. You 100% would.
Yeah.
You just be like, how? Like this isn't actually happening to me. You like what? This shit happens to other people. Like
yeah,
this
yeah.
shit
This
doesn't-
is the
that
stuff you
happens to
hear
people
about
in
on a podcast.
Yeah, on a
Like, I
podcast,
was
in a
listening to.
in a newspaper, like yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was really taken away by this. And she was just very, very thankful that I was there. And, when I had seen her, she was going up the trail that I was about to go up.
Yeah.
So I think she was going the wrong way.
Fuck.
And
You saved her.
maybe.
But so you sent her back down the little trail that you had come from.
Yes. Yes. I had offered to walk her back. And she said, if it's only 15, 20 minutes back this way, I got this power bar. Like I think I can do this by myself. And
That's crazy.
I also wanted to get on the hike, and
Yeah.
I was on a mission.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I sent her on her way.
I
was
hope
gonna
she
walk back
didn't
to the
make
car.
it, bro. Imagine Jesus is
I
out
can't
there.
believe your dad said that.
Yeah, that's
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, shout out Sonia.
Wow.
I hope she made it. And
I hope she made it. Yeah, I hope she made it.
man, just be prepared when you go out
Be
there. man.
prepared. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
because I feel like before this, I mean, I've gone on plenty of camping trips and just like more laissez-faire attitude, like not thinking that it's a big excursion. Really, I mean, usually I tell someone where I'm going, like at least someone, but sometimes you don't think, and that's when you fall down and you fucking break your leg and you're like, 6 miles off in a trail somewhere. And
Yeah. Yeah, and it
happens.
happens. I had gone on, I Google searched Lady Found in Big Sur to see if there's any news about this. And it didn't come up with anything about Sonia.
Well, I mean, if she didn't go to the authorities by herself, it wouldn't have come up anyway.
Maybe.
Like if she just went back to her car and
She said she was going to walk to the state park, which was right around the corner from where I was.
okay,
And, maybe get a lift back to her car.
yeah.
And so she probably potentially told someone. But either way.
What happens when we dream? Is this world all it seems? I think, therefore I am. All I know is my name is Sam. On the road, child to a man. Do I need a plan? All these questions